I don't think it'll be necessary to go through the reports again, since it was just presented.
Just did it,
yes,
for sure. What about if we just go through the
options?
The options,
sure.
And we can, yes.
All right, so there are 4 options. So option number 1 is that council convenes into a special open meeting following the public hearing to give third reading to zoning amendments bylaw number 1085.95 2016. Option number 2, council defers giving third reading to the bylaw until a later date. Number 3, council requests further revisions to the bylaw before proceeding further. And option number 4, council does not take any further action. And in terms of recommendation, staff recommends option number 1.
Thank you very much. Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Having been satisfied that the concerns have been addressed in a reasonable and responsible manner, I'd like to make a motion that council convenes into a special open meeting following the public meeting to give a third reading to zoning amendment bylaw 1085.95 2016.
Thank you. Councillor Rhodes, you're seconding that motion. Is there any other discussion needed on this? Well, I will ask for the vote then. All in favor of the third reading? Thank you. That has been, that's passed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. So that's that section of the meeting. Thank you very much. We hope that that all of that you will continue on to work with all of the town staff, and we look forward to having your craft distillery up and running very soon. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
So we're going to go back to business number 1. And business number 1 is Mr. Cunningham, the Richter property development application.
Yeah, first of all, before proceeding, I must apologize somewhat for a long report because it's going to do triple duty. It's for the information of council, it's for the information, obviously, of the public, but also it's going to be used to support, I hope, an application to the Agricultural Land Commission for the removal of the property from the ALR. So I'll now proceed with reading the report. The town-owned Richter property is located in the southeast Bylaw plan area of Osoyoos, adjacent to Highway 97, as shown on the following figure 4 from the plan. It is the remainder 3.23 acre property left over from acquiring the site for our new fire hall, which is currently under construction. The following conceptual development plan shows how the property will be subdivided and built out with 24 small lot single-family homes and 2 duplex buildings for a total of 28 housing units, of which 4 will be subsidized as affordable units. A tot lot for families with children is also included. The subdivision is a cooperative effort between the town of Osoyoos acting as its own subdivision developer to sell service lots to Elcar Construction, who will build and sell the homes. Under Elcar's attached purchase agreement at the end of this report, they will buy 20 building lots from the town over the next 2 years and have first right of refusal on the remainder. The Richter property, currently outside the town's urban growth boundary, UGB, is designated on the OCP map and zoned for agricultural purposes and is within the Agricultural Land Reserve. At this meeting, Council is requested to 1. Give first and second readings of the 2 attached bylaw amendments. Official Community Plan Amendment Bylaw number 1230.17 to 16 to extend the urban growth boundary UGB around the Richter property remainder and change its land use designation from agriculture AG to intensive residential development IRD. Zoning Bylaw Amendment Bylaw number 1085.98 to 16 to change the designated zoning of the Richter property remainder from AG agriculture to IRD intensive residential development. Then second, set a public hearing date for the 2 bylaw amendments. And then 3, authorize an application be made to the Agricultural Land Commission, ALC, for release of the Richter property remainder of the ALR, including attaching a copy of this report. Overview. This section of the report describes how the Richter property subdivision will contribute to the following: 1, effective growth management; 2, expanded housing choices; and 3, quality urban design. And you may note that I have constantly made a connection between the Richter property itself and the whole of our southeast Meadowlark area. And that's not just for the question of clarity and providing context, but I want to make sure that the LC are impressed that we're not just interested for the immediate future of the Richter property being released, but that it also will honor the commitments that they made over time for the whole area to be released on a needs basis. Okay, effective growth management. The Richter subdivision accords with general growth management policies in our 207 official community plan, OCP, and with more specific policies in our 210 OCP secondary area plan for Southeast Meadowlark, SEM, which it is located. Both plans can be found on the town's website. And Solis faces special challenges in welcoming new growth because our land base is hemmed in by the lake, mountainous areas to the west and east, the international border to the south, the Solis Indian Reserve Number 1, and surrounding agricultural lands. To meet these challenges and promote best practices, Solis was the first local government in South Okanagan to adopt an urban growth boundary, UGB, which will only be selectively extended out to meet priority needs while minimizing impacts on agricultural lands. While we currently have sufficient growth capacity for large lot suburban homes at one end of the market and high-density apartment buildings at the other end, we do need land for affordable medium-density housing to accommodate younger families and others. The 40-acre Southeast Meadowlark block is ideally suited for this purpose because it still contains reasonably sized development parcels, can be economic serviced, is accessible to our downtown, and has been transitioning away from agricultural use. In 2007, and actually that I checked, it's actually 2006, the Agricultural Land Commission, recognizing that the area has been cut up by scattered development and does not offer good potentials for agriculture, requested the town to submit a plan for the review. The Southeast Meadowlark Area Plan, which we prepared, notes the area contains 22 single-family residences and commercial and institutional uses, that only 38.8% of the land was actively still in agriculture. Already that's down to 33.6%, and that a full 26.8% of land is not used for anything. The town's area plan lays out council policies for coordinated neighborhood planning of the block to manage an orderly transition from its current rural fringe character to, over time, become an integral part of the Solis urban area. The preceding figure 4 from the plan identifies 22.3 acres of land that could be eventually built up with about 300 medium-density housing units, depending upon the mix of housing types, enough to meet this type of housing need for many years to come. Our UGB will only be extended out incrementally to open up these lands as needed. The Commission endorsed our SEM area plan by Resolution 2638-210, and on the strength of its policies granted agreement in principle to exclude ALR lands in the area over time on an as-needs application basis. In responding to an application for ALR exclusion, the Commission will pay special attention to how we meet the following area plan conditions. Pardon me. 1. Residential development at medium densities, i.e. no ranchers and large suburban style lots. 2. Exclusion of an affordable housing component to broaden choices. 3. Buffering around the edge of the block to protect farming and surrounding lands remaining in ALR. The last condition does not apply to the Richter property because of its location in the interior of the block, but the following sections of this report show how the other two conditions will be met. 2.2, expanded housing choices. As depicted below, this SEM area plan innovatively proposes a varied mix of housing types suitable for the neighborhood, which are all permitted under a specially designed intensive residential IRD zone. Although a medium density format, most housing types will be ground accessible for varied users. These include small lot single-family homes, some with carriage homes, various duplex configurations, including some with basement suites, and row houses and fourplexes. Apartment buildings are permitted up to 3 stories high, not to visually overpower lower housing. An Sawyer's affordable housing strategy was prepared in tandem with the area plan with help from a community volunteer task force, and following its findings, Council subsequently targeted lower-income working households as a priority for investing town resources. In Southeast Meadowlark, all residential developers will be required under the principles of inclusionary zoning to include a share of affordable housing as a public amenity benefit in return for receiving development rights from the town. This is a first in the Okanagan. Specifically, all developers must build and sell 15% of their housing stock as near-market affordable housings for eligible recipients at a 15% subsidy less than market price, which would cover the mortgage down payment and legal expenses. Thus, based on the total build-out of Southeast Meadowlark for about 300 residences, 45 of these will be affordable homes. Eligible affordable housing recipients will be targeted and approved through a Town Affordable Housing Authority, AFA, with a Citizen Volunteer Board, which is in the process of being formed. A preference will be placed on attracting and retaining local working families, especially those with younger children, to promote both economic and social sustainability. The Richter subdivision will starts Sawyer's affordable housing efforts by providing 28 homes at a lower price end of the market because of their comparatively smaller lots and floor space, and 4 of these will be even more attainable affordable units. In the purchase agreement, Elcar has committed to disperse the affordable units throughout their project and ensure that they are of the same size and outward appearance as the full market units to avoid any stigma effect, as well as ensure that phasing keeps up with the construction of the market units. Elcar will also secure these arrangements on the property through a Section 483 housing agreement under the BC Local Government Act. Turning to 2.3, called the urban design. The area calls for Southeast Meadowlark to be developed as, quote, a showpiece of urban design excellence. The plan itself includes a couple of yield concepts confirming the area could be developed with sufficient mixed medium-density housing to achieve the density target the Agricultural Land Commission is looking for of 30 homes per hectare overall, including the later higher density apartment phases. Considerable care was taken working with the developer to come up with a successful design solution for the Richter property, including meeting its site challenges of a smaller than expected north-south parcel depth because of its expanded fire hall needs, an undevelopable slope at the southwest corner, and accommodation of a connector road through the property from the fire hall to Wren Place, while all at the same time ensuring financial viability. A focus is placed on single-family homes with narrow 9 to 9.5 meter lot frontages to make best use of the land and achieve servicing economies, but with some amenity space on each lot. The opportunity was also taken of fitting in 2 duplexes in a tot lot and otherwise difficult to develop lots. The density is 21 dwelling units per gross hectare, including undeveloped lands, which is notably higher which is notably high for a mostly single-family subdivision and more than double typical suburban densities. High-quality design quality will maintain through Southeast Meadowlark generally and the Richter Properties subdivision specifically by applying our innovative form-based zoning, another first in the Okanagan. In place of traditional one-size-fit-all development standards, our new IRD intensive residential development zone and guidelines employ descriptive text and diagrammatic guidelines to promote sensitive design solutions for accommodating different medium-density housing forms, often in close proximity to each other. All single-family homes in the Richter subdivision will have 1,200 to 1,400 square feet of floor space over 2 floors, and duplexes will be comparably sized. Elcar has committed in the purchase agreement to follow our IRD zoning design guidelines, and all Richter homes will be architect designed following these principles. Success of the Richter subdivision is expected to be a catalyst for our subsequent development of some privately owned lands in the area, where the town will promote even higher density forms. The Richter subdivision will be fully equipped with urban services, including streets, sidewalks, and lighting, some visitor parking stalls, sanitary and storm sewers, and separate domestic and irrigation water supply. Efficiencies will be achieved by connecting southwards from services already being installed for the new fire hall. In the case of sewers, considerable cost savings will be gained by connecting directly into the fire hall gravity main, which will run through the Richter subdivision and terminate at a pump station at the south end of Wren Place for connecting across the existing gravity mains on the other side of Highway 97. The pump station is located at the lowest point in southeast Middlemark to enable gravity servicing of all future development in the area at reasonable cost. Sewer connections along Wren Place will replace the current septic systems, which will help protect the large pond in the middle of the area that will be an attractive neighborhood amenity. Options. Option 1, proceed with first and second readings of official community plan amendment bylaw number 123.17 to 16 and zoning bylaw amendment number 185.98 to 16, set a public hearing date for 2 bylaw amendments, and authorize an application to be made to the Agricultural Land Commission for release of the Richter property remainder from the ALR, including a copy of this report. And I would ask that if you do agree with the third recommendation, that be by resolution, so we satisfy the requirements of the Agricultural Land Commission Act. Or option 2, require revisions or not proceed. Impacts, community, create a landmark development to promote community pride and growth, budget, recover town servicing costs from lot sales, while remaining profits will cover some of our site acquisition costs for the new fire hall. See organizational tasks started, applying for ALR approval, subdivision servicing, design and costing, individual lot appraisals, and affordable housing program description, upcoming tasks, subdivision approval, install services, agree on sale of first building lots and all affordable housing sites, issue development permit and building permits, and form affordable housing authority. Times of the essence to meet our developer obligations and clear the way for building starts. Sustainability. Affordable housing in concert with job creation will retain and attract young working families. Recommendations. Staff recommends option 1 because it is the right time.
You deserve a drink of water.
Thank you. I don't see how we can turn this down after that report.
If length was the criteria, no.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cunningham, for all of the work that you've put into this and for dealing with the 3 specific sections: the effective growth, the expanded housing choices, and the quality urban design. Thank you. Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Well, based on that report, I know you thought it was long,
Yes.
but it was very informative, so thank you for that. It makes the decision-making a lot easier when those kind of reports are given. So I'd like to make a motion based on option 1. And I think because this is such a huge positive thing for our community, I think maybe I'll just read the motion as presented over again.
Okay.
That would be to proceed with first and second readings of the official community plan amendment bylaw number 1230.17, comment 2016, and zoning bylaw amendment bylaw.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but if I can have each bylaw as a separate resolution, that would be helpful for our record keeping.
So 1, 2, and 3
So
would
if you
divvy
do
it up?
one bylaw, then the next bylaw, and then...
Oh, all right.
So 3 motions.
So the first bylaw is the official community plan amendment bylaw.
Yes,
The second one is the zoning amendment bylaw.
that's right.
Right.
So 2 separate resolutions.
How do we include number 2 and number 3 in that?
Separate resolutions after
Set the public hearing, that's a separate one as well. Okay. Councillor Rhodes, which
So am
one
I
are
on the
you?
right track? Would you like me to start over again?
No, just,
Okay. I was at zoning bylaw amendment bylaw number 1085.98 of 2016, and I'll just stop right there.
so we need one for the official community plan amendment bylaw
Do we second
first.
this one first, or no?
Okay, are you gonna, so you're making the motion, you're seconding it? Okay, all in favor of that one? Thank you. Now we're doing, we need one for the zoning bylaw amendment. Councillor Campbell, Councillor Youngberg, right? Yeah? All in favor of that one? Okay, next, Councillor Rhodes, you're going on to number 2. Set the public hearing
Number
date.
3, I think, isn't
We
it?
just did number 2.
Number 2 on here.
Yeah, I'm still trying to catch up.
Okay.
Okay, the third resolution.
We'll pause comfortably for effect here.
Miss Van Vienen,
Should vote on the first and second.
have we not voted?
Yes, you have.
I thought we did vote.
I
Yeah, we
thought
did.
there was a first and second.
Oh,
My
man,
apologies.
you know you're good. Lacey stayed awake through that whole thing.
It was designed for that. Yeah. Okay.
Boy, things are moving faster.
Okay.
Okay, we're at the public hearing date.
Okay, so the public hearing, are you going to do that one too?
Well, I'd like to do it, but do we have options? Is there a
Well,
preferable date?
It would
or-
have to be a couple of weeks from next Monday to allow us the advertising.
So May
So-
16th?
Yeah. So if we could put it
In the evening?
later in the day, so let's say 4 o'clock or something of that nature.
Well, 16th would be a meeting.
Yeah.
That's a regular meeting date?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the good day to have it?
If it-
That's
yes,
council?
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
then I would
Yeah.
recommend that date, perhaps later in the afternoon. I'm not, 4 o'clock
4
works for
o'clock,
me,
does
but
that, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, long as, yeah.
Okay.
So,
As long as we don't run out.
so that would be a public meeting date, a public hearing date on May the 16th at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, right?
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, and that is Councillor Rhodes, Councillor Campbell is seconding that. All in favor? And the third one is an authorization for an application to be made to the Agricultural Land Commission. Councillor Campbell, you making that motion? Thank you. Councillor Rhodes seconding that. All in favor?
Okay.
And I think sending this report, how could they ever turn us down after all the detail in there?
Okay.
Pictures too.
And pictures, that's even
Nice-
better.
Nice pictures, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Everybody likes pictures.
Thank you very much.
Are we finished? So we can move
to
that this
adjourn?
motion to adjourn this meeting. Thank you, all in favor.
We're-
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Have
Who's
we
the mover-
missed?
No, who's the mover and seconder?
Campbell Rhodes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.